Honorable Member Shri Sujit Kumar Ji, you have 3 minutes.
19 minutes, of which my party colleague has taken 15, so 19 minus 15 is 4.
It's 16 minutes. Anyway, please continue.
Sir, we do recognize that Honorable Finance Minister had to present the budget in very difficult times. We also appreciate that she did a balancing act with very good intentions. In fact, during the discussions on the budget in this August House, I had conveyed my Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji's appreciation of the growth focus of the budget, of course with some concerns. Sir, there are several good and progressive proposals and propositions in this budget. In the interest of time, I'll very quickly summarize some of the good direct tax proposals. A reduction in time limit for reopening of the income tax assessment from 6 years to 3 years. This will definitely reduce tax terrorism, as they say, and give peace of mind to the taxpayer. The threshold for exemption from audit has been hiked from 5 crore to 10 crore for the business entities who have 95% of the business in digital form. This will definitely incentivize more businesses to go digital and give a fillip to the digital ecosystem of the country. Sir, the Constitutional Dispute Resolution Committee will definitely help small and medium taxpayers from litigation. Much has been said about faceless ITAT. Extending the tax relief on affordable housing scheme is a welcome relief for the affordable housing customers. I will definitely make a special mention of the startup incentives, sir, because I've been deeply involved in promoting the startup ecosystem of the country, and I definitely applaud the Honorable Finance Minister for extending the relief to the startups. But, sir, I will be failing in my duty if I do not flag some of the concerns which I and my party have, and I urge and request Honorable Finance Minister to reflect on some of these concerns. Sir, the first concern which I have is regarding the increase in cess and surcharge, which has increased tenfold in the last couple of years, which is definitely not in the spirit of cooperative federalism. In fact, it is a direct assault on the federal structure of the country, direct assault on the basic structure. Federalism is a part of the basic structure of our constitution, and this hike in cess and surcharge tenfold is an assault on the federal structure, sir. Sir, lot has been said about augmenting the tax base and increasing the efficiency in the tax administration. So I need not repeat. Sir, I'll certainly make mention of the noise which has been made about giving tax relief to senior citizens. Sir, as Honorable Member from Andhra Pradesh was mentioning, it is only concession in the compliance. It is not concession in the tax. And I would like to correct an honorable member who previously said that there is no tax applicable for senior citizens above 75 years of age. It is incorrect, sir. Definitely they have to file tax. And the relief also which has been announced is really, it really comes with a lot of fine prints and catch. Because they have to, it's applicable only for senior citizens who have interest from pension and from interest income. So, a lot more could have been done for senior citizens, sir. Sir, give me just 1 more minute, sir. Sir, my next concern is regarding the high petrol and diesel prices, which has been spoken about umpteen number of times in this house. Sir, may the government consider reducing the excise component in the prices of diesel, which is currently as high as 39%. This will hugely give relief to the ordinary common citizen, sir. Sir, I would like to certainly conclude by mentioning one important element. Though this discussion is on the finance bill and not on the budget per se, sir, I would like to highlight 2 points here, sir. And I had highlighted this during the budget discussion as well. Sir, the allocation for education has been reduced by, sir, 30 seconds, sir. Allocation for education has been reduced by 6% over last year. Sir, way back in 1964, Kothari Commission had recommended spending 6% of India's GDP on India's budget on education. Instead of allocating 6%, sir, we have reduced 6% vis-a-vis previous year. Sir, this is the year when we are rolling out the new education policy. This is the post-COVID year, sir. What message are we conveying to the country? That the government is not serious about education.
Thank you, Honourable Member.
That the government is not serious Sir, just last, sir, as you know, education is the backbone of this country.
Honourable member, you made
and
your
sir,
point.
the
Thank
worst
you.
part is, of the 6,000 odd crore which has been reduced vis-a-vis last year, 5,000 crore has been reduced for primary education, sir.
Thank you. I'll have to move on. Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Member. Thank you for making
So,
your
sir, my last sentence is, sir, education, sir, given that education, particularly primary education, is the backbone of any nation, I sincerely and fervently appeal to the Honourable Finance Minister to reconsider this reduction in education budget.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Thank you.